ever felt like you're constantly running on a treadmill of responsibilities where every step forward seems to take you a step back from the relationships that matter the most? Well, if so, you're not alone, and welcome to the meeting place where today we're tackling the art of balancing it all without losing ourselves or our connections in the process. I'm your host, Michelle O'Neill, your resident certified life coach and emotional wellness coach. And today we'll embark on a journey through a topic that actually resonates with many of us, navigating the difficult balance between caregiving responsibilities and the demands of your professional lives and our cherished connections with friends or family. Now, this week's topic is actually born from not just my personal journey, but from the shared experiences of this beautiful community. Now, in our lives, each role we play comes with its own set of demands, right? And rewards. Now, the role of caregiver often sprung upon us with little warning, ask us to give generously of our time, our energy, and our emotional reserve. Coupled with the relentless pace of professional commitments, it's a recipe for a life that feels perpetually off balance. Yet, amidst this balance lies our heart's work, our world, our heart, our relationships. These connections, whether through blood or choice, are the threads that hold together the tapestry of our lives, giving it color and warmth and meaning. And so I choose to spotlight this challenge because it's a silent struggle many of us deal with. It's easy to get lost in the daily duties, to let the pressures of caregiving and work overshadow the moments that truly define our lives. The laughter shared over a meal, the whispered confidence and sharing in the quiet of the night, and the simple joy of just being there with someone, the companionship of talking with someone else. And today, let's explore not just the struggle, but the paths to harmony, to a life where each aspect of our being is giving its due, where the love that we give to others is also turned inward to ourselves, nurturing the soul that sustains it all. And unfortunately, I want to tell you, I am unable to be with you there today, but it doesn't mean that I'm not present with you in spirit. And the reason I want to say this is because I want you to understand just how much this caregiving can sometimes disrupt our lives. Now, I've had to make a stop to help my mother out with something to go visit her. And I am so happy that I'm able to do that and to be with you as well. But I want you to know that we don't have to let those disruptions or those changes absolutely throw us completely off balance. The thing is finding a way to make it harmonize. And that's what we're talking about today. At the heart of our discussion is a delicate tension, a balancing act between our roles as caregivers and professionals and the equality or the equal importance of roles of being a partner, a friend, a family member, a mother, or whatever it is. It's a dance of duties, and each step requiring our utmost care and attention. And it often leaves us navigating a maze of emotional fatigue, guilt, and the perpetual quest for balance. And that's why you're here, and I know that. So, while undertaking with love and dedication, this juggling act that we go through every day can sometimes leave us feeling as if we're spread too thin, that we're barely holding on to the threads that connect us to those that we hold dear. Well, I invite you to consider your dance between duties. That's what I'm calling it today. Reflect on those moments that bring you joy and connection. Let's explore how we can actually ensure that these treasures aren't lost in the shuffle of our caregiving and professional responsibilities. Here, today, I want to give you some strategies that have been my lifeline and those of many in our community. These approaches can they can actually transform how we connect with our loved ones, ensuring that those bonds survive and thrive. So, the first one I want to talk about is scheduled connection. In the whirlwind of our daily responsibilities, it's easy for time with our loved ones to actually slip through the cracks because there's so much that needs our attention. Well, the solution to that is intentionally scheduling it. This isn't about diminishing our spontaneity, but elevating our commitment to those moments of connection. We're saying they are important, if not equally important, even more important. So we schedule them in our day. For instance, setting aside a date night each week with your partner or a family hour where everyone gathers to share and to laugh and enjoy each other's company can create anchors of togetherness in your busy life. You need these anchors. I know I do, right? So even if it's a video call with a friend during a lunch break, these scheduled connections become sacred, non negotiable parts of your week, ensuring that the hustle of life isn't eroded with the bonds. It doesn't, let me say this right, doesn't erode the bonds that matter most to us. So, those times that you're in the car and you're driving, you're commuting, connect with others. Use that time for that connection. Those times that you find yourself, that you find the opportunity to just have a couple of minutes to step away, send a text, whatever it is. But those connections need to be had. And so schedule it in your day. Another one is the quality of your communication. It's more important how meaningful our conversations are rather than how many conversations we have. In a world where time is absolutely precious, making the most of our communication can foster intimacy and connection. You're saying you matter. It's not how often we do it, but that we're fully present when we are there, when we are having that connection. Put the phone away, turn the computer off, but listen and hear. Simple gestures like sending a heartfelt text that says, I'm thinking of you, or leaving a note of appreciation for a family member can have a profound impact on them. These moments of quality communication bridge the physical and emotional distances that life's demands create. And they remind us and remind our loved ones and ourselves that we are present even in the smallest ways. Make the time to say, I'm thinking of you and you matter. Another one is shared experiences, merging our caregiving and professional worlds within our personal lives can open doors to, actually, to new levels of understanding and connection. They allow you to see things in different ways, to have different perspectives, or just different conversations with others can bring another perspective to your life. So invite your spouse, your partner, or your friend to join you in your caregiving activity, offering them the glimpse into your world. Just say, hey, why don't you go with me to mom's this time so you can see what I actually do? I'd love to share that with you. Or sharing stories from your professional life can invite empathy and insight, fostering a deeper bond. Tell them about your day. Hey, do you know what happened today? Guess what so and so said to me? We were having this conversation in the break room, and I thought, Man, I never thought of that way. Share these things. For example, if you are caring for an elderly parent, involve your children in simple care tasks or storytelling sessions. These are so important that your kids get to hear and experience the stories of their grandparents or their great aunt's life. I've had the opportunity to do this just recently, and my eyes and understanding and respect has grown tremendously for our elderly. I mean, 90-year-old. I talked to a girl this weekend that was on the phone in, where were we? One of the fast food places. And she said she stopped what she was doing. She helped me and then she moved away and just answered her phone. And I'm thinking, why are you answering your phone? But she said, "Hey, grandma." And her grandmother asked her a question, something about bread pudding. And she said, "Yeah, I like bread pudding." And then she says, "Grandma, I'm working. I'll see you when I get there." And she hung up and she looked at me. She says, "I am so sorry. But when I leave work today, I am going to see my great grandmother. And I wanted to just answer this call." She said, "She's 104. And I'm going home to see her and my great aunt and my mom. My great aunt is 87." I'm like, wow. You said what? 104? Could you imagine the stories that she has? Now, this helps the children when they get to hear these stories. This actually helps them understand the importance of family and caregiving and legacy and building that shared legacy of love and respect. In many ways, that I really think is a forgotten art. And it's up to us to bring it back, the importance. Another way is embracing flexibility. Hey, just like I had to stop and make this unexpected change in my schedule, the thing is that I was able to do that. And I'm glad that I was able to be there for my mom. So it's all about embracing flexibility, is recognizing that balance isn't about that perfect equilibrium, but flexibility and adaptation. That's what balance is. Some days will demand more from you as a caregiver or maybe as a professional, and that's okay. What's important is communicating this flexibility with your loved ones, ensuring that they understand that while the scales may tip temporarily, that your commitment to nurturing your relationship remains steadfast, and just allowing them or letting them know that we're going to have a shift for a short period of time, knowing when it ends and knowing that it does have an end is so important. And then another way is cultivating a culture of openness. Encourage an environment where open discussions about feelings and needs and the impact of caregiving is welcome. Talk about it. This can significantly reduce feelings of isolation or neglect that your loved ones may be experiencing. For instance, regular family meetings can be a space where everyone gets to voice their needs, their concerns, and their desires, and it creates a collective understanding and approach to caregiving and relationship nurturing. You think family meetings are dead? Bring them back because it opens the floor for more cohesive openness. And then finally, prioritizing self care. I cannot impress upon this enough. Remember that nurturing your well being is actually vital. You cannot pour from an empty cup. Engaging in self-care practices not only rejuvenate your spirit, but it also enhances your capability to actually engage meaningfully with others. Whether it's a quiet walk or a hobby or meditation, a hobby like doing a word puzzle, this quietly sitting there and engaging your mind in something different. These self-love practices ensure you bring your best self into your relationships. And I'd love to hear from you about what we're talking about today. What experiences, questions, or strategies that have helped you maintain and deepen your relationship amidst the whirlwind of our responsibilities. In fact, I'd like to right now share a question that's really often asked. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, Michelle. I've tried scheduling regular check-ins with my family, but I often cancel or postpone because something urgent comes up with caregiving or work. It feels like a cycle that I can't break out of. How can I make these moments with my loved ones truly non-negotiable? Wow. How many times have you dealt with that? That no matter what, you can't stick to that commitment that you've made to yourself and others, that it's not non-negotiable. Now, let me say that was a great question. I'm sure you heard yourself in there. And the key to making these times non negotiable lies in viewing them with the same importance as your critical caregiving task or your work commitments. Don't shove them aside as lesser value because they have the same, if not greater value. Work goes away, but you have to take care of yourself and make time for other things to rejuvenate yourself so that you can take care and be your best in other things. So, one strategy that has worked for me and others is to involve your loved ones in actually setting these schedules. Remember, I talked about the meeting up before, right? When they're part of this planning process, it creates a shared commitment that's harder to break. They're in it with you to win it. And also explain the significance of these check-ins to your loved ones, that they're not just casual catch-ups, but essential building blocks for maintaining your other relationships and your relationship health and well-being. What kind of relationship is it if you're not nurturing it? If you're not building it, if you're not lifting it up? Just like anything else in our lives that over time isn't nurtured and strengthened and that we don't pour into, it dies. And these relationships are so important. And another practical tip is to set reminders for yourself, just as you would an important meeting or medication time, right? And I know my phone is forever telling me, hey, it's time to take your medicine. Treat these reminders as prompts for critical tasks that can't be easily moved. And if unavoidable and a conflict arises, reschedule it immediately. Don't say, I'll get to that in a minute or I get to that later. Look right then and there. Get your calendar out, whether it's on your phone or it's a one in person. Get that calendar out and say, I got to reschedule this. When do I have time to do this? Don't cancel. Can I say that again? Do not cancel it. This shift in mindset from viewing these moments as adjustable to seeing them as fixed part of your schedule can make a big difference. And finally, well, give yourself grace. 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 The goal isn't perfection, but progress is prioritizing your relationships and your responsibilities. Phew. I want to leave you with a thought that's both a reminder and a call to action. Now, our journey is filled with caregiving challenges and professional responsibilities and deep human desire to connect. And all those things require more than just our time. It demands our heart. Look, nurturing our relationships in the midst of life isn't an optional part of our well being, it's foundational. It's the thing to hold you up and lift you when needed. It keeps you from falling through the cracks or stumbling. And you need a firm, strong foundation. These connections are the lifelines that sustains us, offering moments of joy and solace and understanding in a world that's often asking too much. Let's not view this as the end of our discussion today, but as the beginning of a deeper exploration into how we can live fully, love deeply, and care wisely. With an open heart and mind, I invite you to join me again right here on the meeting place. And I know soon I will be live because I love seeing your comments. But even when I can't be here live, this live stream, I am in the comments there, answering your questions, your comments. Share this stream with someone who needs to hear today's message or even my previous messages. And I invite you to become an active part of our community group. I want to thank you for sharing this space with me today. And until next time, keep nurturing those important connections that matter most. And remember, in the symphony of life, I can't even talk, but in the symphony of life, every note counts. Let's make ours resonant with love and purpose. Thank you for being here today. Take care.